Today, we have a guest at the studio, and we are going to talk about all things shipping. Shipping. It is recorded that about 11 tons of goods are transported each year through shipping. And this 11 billion tons of goods, 11 billion tons of goods are transported yearly through shipping, and that represents about 80% of all goods moved from one country to the other. In Nigeria, the shipping industry has an annual potential of $5 to $6 billion. But looking at things, we are merely scratching at the surface. Last year, it is recorded that 4 agencies in Nigeria made about 850.3 billion naira from shipping. And those agencies are Nimasa, that's Nigerian Maritime and Safety Administration, the Nigerian Shippers Council, the NPA, and NIWA. It's recorded also that over 95% of trade in volume is moved through shipping in Nigeria. These are very big figures, but the amount being made from shipping, it's just a trickle amount as compared to the potentials, because we are told that we have a potential of making 9 trillion naira, but we are making about 850 billion naira, 9 trillion naira annually from shipping in Nigeria. Of course, the maritime sector in Nigeria is estimated to be worth over 90 trillion naira, and from shipping we are making 850 billion naira annually. We are going to look at some of the issues that affect shipping, of course, vis-a-vis the maritime sector. And we have an studio today a very experienced, widely traveled, very articulate person in the name of Captain William Gushaki. He's going to throw more light on certain things, all things shipping. And because we're also told that we have a potential of creating about 5 million jobs. Sorry, we have the potential of creating about 2 million jobs in over the next 5 years. But these are not being put into good use. And so we need to ask Capi here why we are falling so short behind. You're welcome to the program once again, and it is the Maritime and Border Show. And with me, of course, is...
All right, good afternoon, listeners, and good afternoon, our distinguished guest. As he has been introduced, we will come to him, don't worry. I'm sure everybody's itching to hear the good news he has to give us. But before we go on with that, it's important for us to look at what happened through last week within the maritime industry. As you are aware, the Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, recently engaged stakeholders in Lagos regarding the BODOGU platform. The BODOGU platform is a new customs clearance system. The engagement focused on addressing concerns, and ensuring a smooth transition to the system, which aims to enhance trade facilitation and system optimization. It was quite an interesting gathering. A lot of people turned up for it, and I would give it to the CG. He did very well, and his team, in trying to explain the BODOGU to importers, agents, and stakeholders. I mean, there's something special. He said, "You are no longer my stakeholders. We are now partners." And yes, and I think that it is something very noble, because the BODOGU is an indigenous app, built by Nigerians, supported by Nigerians, and being used by Nigerians to ensure trade facilitation and all of that. So it was a very good outing.
And I can say that a few of the stakeholders, a few persons have been testifying. So the fact that the BOW is actually working and it's giving them a kind of new lease of life in doing business.
Yes, it is. It's working perfectly well. I mean, not perfectly, but it's working well because the issue of network, which was witnessed with NICES 2, seems to be wearing out a little bit. But I think that the CG and his team need to do more with regards to the network issue, because if you want to facilitate trade, you want to encourage more people to get into import, export, and all of that. You need to ensure that they have an advantage of the BOW, which means that things will be faster and people will not have to be paying demurrage and all of that. So it's a good one. And also, I think during that same period, he also visited the Kirikiri Lighter Command, KLT, in which
Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Command.
Yes, in which stakeholders told him of what they're going through in getting their transires out from Tink and Apapa and then Lekki, and he promised to do something about it. So we're hoping and praying that the CG will do something about it, because it's really affecting facilitation of trade, especially for bonded terminals and agents using KLT. I think something needs to be done urgently. We understand that Apapa and Tinkan doesn't want to lose their revenue, but in truth, all the revenue goes to one purse. So
federal government.
Yes, so something needs to be done. CG, kudos, but you need to really do something about Kirikiri. Yes, you need to do that.
Terminal.
Yes, the controller there is doing so well.
Yeah.
She's doing so well. She's trying so hard to put that command back to where it used to be. But you see, when you have all these small problems and issues that are not resolved, a lot of people are now running away from the command, and then it feels like, oh, she's not doing anything. But we are using this forum to appeal to the Controller General to come to the aid of KLT. Also, during the week, a high-level delegation from Nigeria, led by the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, Olufemi Oloruntola, Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, Dr. Dayo Moboriola, and the Director of Maritime Safety and Security at the Ministry, Babatunde Bombeta, graced the 30th session of the International Seabed Authority, ISA, in Kissington, Jamaica. The visit was a significant step in Nigerians' campaign for election into the Council of the International Maritime Organization, IMO. They leveraged on the shared membership of 167 members,
states,
yes, who are also members of the IMO. So we're hoping that something will be done. Nigeria needs to benefit more, and I'm sure in the course of our program,
Captain will talk
more about.
it.
Captain is going to. Yes,
we've been seeking to be engaged in the category C of the IMO, and the captain has a lot to tell us about what we stand to benefit and why we should be in that category. All right.
Sadly, also, I think it was on Saturday. The barge operators of Association of Nigeria confirmed that a barge belonging to one of the members sunk in the water at mile 2.
It was quite unfortunate.
Yes, and the painful part of it, or what we find very, very interesting while we're looking at this news, is the fact that barge was said to be carrying some chemicals, toxic. Let's use the language, toxic chemicals, and most of them went under. They were only able to rescue a few of them, but quite a number of them are still under, and we're wondering what would happen to our waterways if those submerged drums begin to
leak out.
So we're asking the federal government.
You think it might affect the biodiversity?
Exactly, because the way they're talking about it, it means that it's a very serious issue. So we're appealing to, those in the maritime industry, the federal government, even the Lagos state government, to come to the aid of Lagosians.
This is where we also call on the economic regulators of the maritime sector. That's the Nigerian Shippers Council, and of course agencies such as the other agencies that are involved in the maritime sector, in regulation and in the operation.
We're talking about SON, we're talking about NAFDAC, everybody,
all government agencies to put their hands on deck and see what they can do about this, because it's left to be imagined what the effect will be if those toxic materials are leaked into our waterways. I mean, it will be a very terrible thing. We need to act, and act fast.
Yes, there's a good news. The Nigerian Customs Service has granted a 21-day grace period, effectively from Monday, that is tomorrow, to importers who have defaulted on the conditions of their temporary admission permit (TAP). Affected importers must act promptly to regularize their importation status by 1. Applying for a valid extension, 2. Re-exporting the goods under customs supervision, converting the goods to home use by paying applicable duties.
That's quite a good news, because it will provide some kind of relief for those who have their goods there and are unable to do the proper thing about
clearing and all of that.
So I think they have enough time now, or some time now, to run around and see what they can do to move their goods away from the ports and then have them taken to their destinations.
Well, and then finally, because the news I'm going to bring out now, we're going to use that news to usher in Captain. Captain, are you with us? Yes, it says that the maritime experts have praised the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, for its commitment to fully implement the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, CVFF. The commendation came on Thursday during a panel session at the 2025 one-day maritime law seminar held in Lagos by the Nigerian Maritime Law Association, with the theme "Lens into the Future of the Shipping Industry." The seminar examined both national and international maritime perspectives. The panel analyzed CVFF related challenges and the fund's effective distribution under the topic "Renewed Prospects for the Full Implementation of the Cabotage Act." So in one hand, should we be happy? Because I know.
Yes. I know that over the years there've been a whole lot of talks about the CVFF, the Cabotage Vehicle Finance Fund, which is a fund mapped out to help indigenous shipping. But the thorny issue there has been the disbursement of this fund to indigenous players within the shipping sector, for them to be able to acquire their own ships and then do business and then help in growing the maritime sector vis-a-vis the Nigerian economy. This is good news, and I hope that things like this get to see the light of the day, CVFF and every other thing.
Okay, and going on, we also hear that Nimasa is exploring a partnership with multinational agencies to facilitate ship finance, credit, seller's credit, and improved shipbuilding shipyards, can be so that shipyards can be built for Nigeria, with Nimasa providing guarantees. So for those who want to build shipyards, I say Nigeria has gotten to that level where we should actually be building ships. And before now, if you recall, there was a time we had the
Niger Dock.
Good. And then what has happened?
Well, a whole lot. You see, the thing is this: when you take your eyes off those things that help you grow, I mean, it becomes the decay sets in. So it's a shame that a company like Niger Dock that was originally there building ship was allowed to go under Well, let's hope that with all these policies and programs being put in place, that we have such companies coming back to stream, and the indigenous shipping is strengthened with, of course, disbursement of the CVFF, and Nigerians get to benefit. We have more people being employed into the sector, and the economy is helped more.
All right, it is now time for us to bring in our guest for today, engineer. Captain, good afternoon once more, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Captain Kapi, you're welcome to the program. Captain William Ogushaki.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Captain, let's start by you telling us your journey. At least people would want to know how you started, and why would we bring you on board? Just give us a little intro about yourself, sir.
Yeah, I am a born seafarer. I've never done any job apart from I'm gifted with so many talents, but the seafarer team is God given. I entered the profession immediately after my secondary school level. I joined by going to sea, sailing first. I joined vessel as just a deck board. When I came back, I knew I have to do more, because I saw the different between the rating and the officers. Then I now started aspiring. I want to go and learn. I started looking for where to learn. Then somebody directed me to Federal College of Fisheries, then to a School of Oceanography. Then I went there. I was enlisted, and then it wasn't that difficult like this. We wrote our exam and we don't be getting. So from there, I finished from that place. I started the journey, going aboard this. Then I got another good job again that took me all the way to America, and all this to South Africa. I came back. Then again, there was a period of law in Nigeria on a maritime system where they were not issuing certificate. Then that took me to Ghana, where in 1991, when I go to Ghana, I obtained skipper of all waters. It's not the skipper we have here that used to run with the speedboat. It is the skipper of all waters. I took me all over the world. Then from there, I came back. I knew I have to do more. I again went to Oron, go and get master recharger 3,000 tonnage.
Wow.
Then from there, I started working, looking for a job. I went to work offshore. There's no type of vessel I've not managed. I said, let me not all. But that particular vessel that are so many have not worked. And I've not worked on DP vessel. Okay. But every other vessel is mentioned in the ocean, both offshore, tugboat, supply boat, alcohol handling, anyone, tanker. I now came to tanker. I blew. I reached the maximum. Okay. The last vessel I carried was 40,000 metric tons.
All right, Capi.
So now I'm retiring home. I want to try and see what I can do ashore.
Congratulations.
Capi, looking at the Nigerian shipping sector, the shipping sector within the Nigerian economy, what do you think, as a professional, what do you think about where we are supposed to be and where we are now? Looking at the figures I reeled out at the beginning of this program.
Yes. Nigeria, we started to, I don't know why we were not putting attention in maritime. Shipping per se. Like country like Philippines, they develop their seafaring. Country like India take on top the chart. Even Europe will employ India to master their vessel. All those Superman, Extraman vessels you see in the ocean today are manned by India. Why are we developing? Nigeria has potential. Nigeria is the largest market in Africa. And Nigeria, well, but sad to say, 80%, before that, 80% of, over 80% of the maritime trade is, or imports that we get is from through the sea. But the painful thing is, over 90% of this trade are being transported by foreign-owned vessels. Foreign, and manned by foreign captain, foreign chief engineer, foreign second engineer, foreign second chief officer. The middle officers were left for us. Please, it's not all the company, because maybe 5% of the whole shipping company in Nigeria are managing using it. Then these people, they are adding the money of those four people on the vessel is more than the rest of the people, captains, and all those. So this is economic leakage. That's number one. Dollars, they are paying them in dollars. Money, we are saying dollar is expensive. We are paying them in dollars. We pay Nigeria in nairas. So then the shipping, we try not to. When the Nigeria is very good at ratifying conventions. I don't think there's any IMO convention Nigeria will not ratify, but domesticate it. The place we are having problem is implementation. To implement these conventions, because the problem, as much that we are not trying to criticize anybody, the government, we are trying to see how we can assist. The problem is some people holding some key positions and doesn't know anything about what they are doing. Until that time, Nigeria, how is aviation working fine? Is it not like this before when they were carrying political person? Until they started using those
technocrats,
retired pilots and things to head the aviation. Until we come to that level in maritime, if we go to the politics, let us not put in 100% politics. Let somebody that knows the party very well, because it will be a shame for you as a captain or chief engineer that your country is not in IMO seat. You will be very, very ashamed, because you know what it means. You're going to lose voice.
Critically, sir, you raise a point there, sir. Why is it that we do not have Nigerian ships carrying Nigerian flags, sir?
Nigerian flag. It is the reason I cannot say 100%, but what I can observe is those countries that are having flags. Let me take Liberia for instance. Liberia were tagged FOC in the past, but today are they FOC? They the category A. Liberia were giving registering ship seamlessly. If you want to register vessel in Liberia now, I give you 5 days or maximum of 10. Your certificates are ready. That time they will not come. They don't have, but now they have agents all over the world. Is that not employment for the worker? Yes. But I come to that citizen. Those agents are their citizens. The one thing you have to know, I don't know of present now. As at the time I know, Liberia 5 years ago, Liberia did not have one maritime institution. But
no maritime institution.
I'm telling you, I don't know of present now whether they have got it now. They don't have, because I applied at Liberia very well during a common war. When one of the people that executed that war, we fly and Liberia. Then they were people begging me to collect the license. I said, what I want to do with your Air Force license. But today, they're in category A, because they have large tonnage vessels all over the world. They don't own vessels. I don't see any citizen of Liberia own vessels. But they make the registration very easy. Everybody are going there to. If Nigeria can make our own easy, even some ship owners in Nigeria went to Togo to go and register. Why? Because the delay. That's only the delay that is the problem. Let us remove the delay.
What's the connection of this now? This delay in registration and our desire, the delay in granting our desire to have the category C of the IMO, sir?
Category C. What is the requirement for category C? The requirement for category C is you must be very good expert in navigation. You must very good and expert in maritime transportation. Now, like what I've just said, 90%, almost 90, the time I enter maritime, time will not let me tell you everything. When I'm maritime, 90% of the vessels operating in Nigeria are owned by Nigeria in 1980s, 1990s.
Okay.
I can start continue calling ship owners.
But right now, it doesn't seem like actually the shipping industry is actually really existing in Nigeria, because we do not have Nigerians that have real ships, except
we still have some, but that's where I'm going. But that time there was no Cabotage, no MSC, no LTCW. We only have solars at that time. But now we have those three added to the convention that we have ratified, and we have ratified Nigeria. So what happened? The Cabotage says any vessel to be used in Nigeria must be built in Nigeria, owned by Nigerian, and manned by Nigerian. Now at this moment, we are having 90% of the vessel now almost owned by foreigners, and almost, because I call it owned by foreigners, because 5% the vessel Nigeria are having now mostly security boat because of threat or pirate. At the moment we clear threat, then they will not have job.
Okay.
There's the vessels, the 90% vessel now are now owned by expatriates and manned by expatriates majorly. Then we are now opposite the interpretation of Cabotage Maritime Shipping Act. We are now living opposite of it. So we need to now when the bloodstream of the nation is maritime.
So, sir, you just buttressed my points.
If the maritime, if the bloodstream is clogged, what happened to you?
It's dead.
Of course, sir.
No, you start with high blood pressure first. So
Comatose.
We are not dying yet. We are in the period of high blood pressure. So what we need that our stakeholders, the political class, the elites, the president, they should need to go and work. They are the doctors to work to remove, to free the line, to free the bloodstream. So they need to free the bloodstream. Now, so why they free the bloodstream? It is by trying to, all these things we are saying, tell them, don't waste time. People want to register ship. Give them, let them, don't, why should you say if you are not on board, you are not on seat, somebody will not register. They quickly register the vessel. Okay. So when we have plenty vessels flying Nigerian flag, we don't need to beg IMO, because we have the potential already.
All right, sir. My colleague, my co-presenter here talked about the CVFF, the Cabotage Vehicle Finance Fund, that Nimasa is supposed to disburse money from to help indigenous ship owners. How does that? How the disbursement of this fund? How much impact, negative impact, does it have on shipping?
The impact is great. That is why, because look, how am I interpreting it?
Sorry, sir. Why I ask that question is because, of course, there are other means of getting funds through the banks or through probably people coming together to say we pool money together and then get our own ship. So what is the impact, the negative impact of this, the non-disbursement of the CVFF?
When the convention comes, we quickly go and ratify it, and we domesticate it. The double hull convention is what is killing us.
Which, sir?
Double hull convention.
Double hull.
Yeah, double hull.
Okay. Double hull.
Okay. Yeah, double hull.
It's what is killing Nigeria. Even in UK, they are in their internal waters. They are still using single hull there. But they are the one that initiated the rule. And the ship, we don't have turbulent water here. The minute double hull came, we ratify and domesticate it. We do not consider that. Do we have money to buy double hull That is the time I said every ship in Nigeria was owned by Nigerians. Only 10% owned by foreigners. And it must be 50-50 that time. The double hull vessel, if you are buying single hull, they make our people to go and grind their ship, melt it. They melt their ship. We are living for here to worry. How many times has ship grounded at oil point water in Nigeria? It is in their country there, up there in the North Atlantic.
Yeah.
That's where they have that problem. So because of what happened to them now, they make us to come and rectify that convent. No, as to rectify. Now government has known that they have made the people want to lose their means of living. What should government do? Government should now find way to pump in money to compensate that money that Nigeria cannot have. Now the CFF is coming. You are now telling people to go and be 30%. I'm not. You see 20%.
Yes.
Well, the people that have not been working since. They've not gotten sheep since. How are they going to go? Then we are indirectly trading that CFF to foreign again.
Okay.
But if I call Greece people now, I have potential. That's what I'm thinking about. I want to. This CFF is coming. I don't have the money, but they say I should bring money. So if I can bring money, then you can add one of your vessels to join me. They will give me the money. Then when they give me the money, I'll be like lion shouting or wolf. Nothing I can do. Toothless. Because the money, the capital is owned by foreigner expatriates. Except I don't know. And people that own money, that has money, I don't know. I will not say somebody embezzle money. People that have money, you know, those people that have the money, they are afraid to come and invest it. But nobody legitimately can a good vessel now. If you want to have, because Dangote now had come with another something that will keep Nigeria not to work. He's trying to help standardize Nigeria so that putting Nigeria in a class B will not be difficult. Because in Dangote now, if you don't have a vessel of 15 years less, you cannot go alongside to load.
Oh.
Is anybody here 15 years can 15 is motor on the road, motor self. He cannot go and load. So that is now putting pressure on indigenous ship owners again. Now for you to buy a vessel of less than 10 years that will accept in Nigeria now, you need about $1 billion.
That's for what is the capacity of that?
The vessel that is moving in Nigeria now for people that want to buy ship. So that is where I am now.
What will be the capacity of the vessel?
Consultation for vessels. The capacity of vessel that will work in Nigeria now is about 20,000 gross ton. That is about 30,000 to 40,000, depending on the make. If it is seagoing batch, it can be 20,000 tons, maybe 15 gross tonnage, 3,000 tons gross tonnage. But you can have light draft. Because now we want to put this in now. They're supposed to dredge all our water, all our channels, so that I can contain vessels. So that you can buy, if I buy 20,000 tons, because the marketers, they are hearing me now. No, if you carry 10,000 tons vessel come out, they will not shutter it from you.
Okay.
Because they want the one that can carry at least minimum of 15,000. That is tanker. I'm not talking about offshore vessels. The tanker, I'm very, very comfortable. That's where I work last. I'm very, very comfortable what is happening there. You cannot have 15,000 tons to carry 15,000 and draw a draft of 6 meter or 6.2. If your own draw more than 6.2, 6.4, they will not charge for the vessel. Because they cannot lose. The money you will pay for port duty for that vessel is the same thing you pay for 5,000 ton vessel. Almost the same thing. Okay. So if you carry 15,000 and you draw that draft, then you are making times 3 of the money that 5,000 will carry. So that's why you don't see 5,000, 10,000 too much in our water again.
All right, sir.
One last question from me, sir. How much impact does the security within our maritime or the insecurity within our maritime sector affect shipping business in Nigeria? We talk. Nimasa is talking about part of their blue economy policies. Providing security within the waterways. So how much impact does it have, negative impact does it have on the shipping, sir?
The negative impact is because right now, let's talk so that if anybody from the General Assembly or whatever, they will know that we are already getting out of the trouble. We are getting out of the trouble with our Navy, Nimasa collaboration, Maritime Police, and civil defense and other enforcement agencies. But in the past, it impacted negatively badly.
Okay.
In the past. In fact, there was a time when we were to play ball in Brazil. I was involved in trying to hire a cruise ship to come and take our Nigerian people. The money we were supposed to pay if the vessel should land in Ghana is times 2 of it we are paying to come to Nigeria. We are paying. So all the inflation we are seeing is emanated from. That is why the government need to divert attention, if not 50% of their attention to maritime. Let us do it. You will see all this inflation will come down. Because everything you are doing in maritime is in dollars.
Correct, sir.
All right. This is still the Maritime and Border Show on VOP 90.3 FM. The phone lines will be open soon. You can reach us on 070 903 903 903 080 3692 993 081 717 56338. That's our WhatsApp number. You can send us a WhatsApp message. You can also call us on that. The numbers again are 0700 903 903 903 08036 929933 081 717 5688. Still on the Maritime and Border Show. Sir, there's this thing called the Rotterdam Rules. It says it's a United Nations Convention on Contracts for International Carriage of Goods, wholly or partly by sea. We hear is a treaty proposing new international rules to reverse the legal framework for maritime affreightment and carriage of goods by sea. The rules primarily address the legal relationship between carriers and cargo owners. We hear that several countries, including Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and Togo, just our backdoor neighbor, have ratified the Rotterdam Rules. However, Nigeria is yet to do so. Why?
You see, like I'm saying, we need to put people that knows about this thing in the places. But by the time, even though this assistance they are giving us, we are not too complaining, even though it's not the right thing, but we are telling the younger ones now, go and study. Improve your educational qualification. Leave professional, do professional, because there are 3 qualifications in maritime. Professional qualification, operational qualification, and educational qualification. That educational qualification is what we abandon. I got my master's last 2 years ago. My master's, as an educational master's. But then I thought I was a big liar. So now when it comes to the reality of Nigerian Gazette on education, the time they were doing, they were writing constitution, nobody knew about seafarer, nobody knew about maritime. So there was no mention of maritime or seafarer in the constitution of Nigeria. They are supposed to place a certificate. If you have class 1, you are so you are PhD. You have a class 2, you are MSc. They are supposed to put that off. God, for you to become a captain or a chief engineer, man, you have to labor, and we have carried the responsibility that anybody have not carried. Okay. We took vessels to the deep sea alone. No police, no lawyer, no special doctor. We are the doctor of ourselves. And we were doing it. Then somebody will come back to our shop, want to come and work. They will say level 8, level 9. Which level? Somebody earning $50,000 or $10,000, you tell them come and collect 1 million naira. How can it work? So when we have people that knows, they should treat this maritime as maritime. If it is ministry, let it be, but it should be treated as maritime, so that people that are going to be in the maritime will earn money, if not up to what I earning at sea. Let it be close.
Okay, all right. So I want to be correct in this. It says
that's what is affecting all those ratification of those conventions on time.
okay. Nigeria has a coastal line of about 853 kilometers, if I'm right, with increasing economic activities that has enabled a vibrant shipping industry and the enactment of a maritime cabotage policy. Now, despite the opportunity to grow the indigenous shipping industry, participation is still very low. I mean, people are not coming out. You know, what would you say? I mean, we have a cabotage law, isn't it? We have the CVFF, you know, but these things have been put in place to encourage Nigerians who are ready to invest. What is still holding them back?
I've said it before. I said the CVFF, they said 30%. I want to see it. They are so Nigeria in 1970s. I forgot it exactly when they established NNSL. There was no CFF money. There was no money kept anywhere. Yeah. No government deliberately brought out money and they went and construct brand new ship and release it. Why the NNSL failed, that now this one will not fail if they release the money. They should look for people that are capable, people that have the idea. Let them come and prove that they can do it. When they prove it, then they put the vessel. It will be PPP, public-private partnership. Yeah. So that, because if you say I should go and bid, come out to do the master registration now for my crewing I wanted to do 5 million, I'm still looking for it too. Now talk of for me to go and look for collateral that I will use to collect that money. That money will automatically go to foreigner if we continue like that. Nobody, no people I know that are the water now that can raise that kind of money. I don't know because they don't have ship again. So the Nigerian cannot afford to buy double hull vessel unless government buy it.
So, yes, sir. Basically, what you are saying is that they should lower the standard, but it also means that these same reasons that we are giving now will also not make us to be recognized in that category C that we are seeking.
Standard. Anybody that is going, government will tell you, IAS class, International Association of Classification Society, IAS Classification Society. They go no go take all this small class that they can put bribe. They will not do. IAS class. We ensure your office and ensure and also class your office and class your ship. There's no way ship will operate because you cannot put a lawyers now. GL, Jamaican lawyers or BV that they don't compromise. So the failure to the enforcement is what we are lacking in Nigeria. And even those of us that they are putting on the enforcement at the end of the day, we end up corrupting. It's until we are able to talk to ourselves, is enough. We cannot be a giant and be toothless giant. Yes. Okay,
sir, but looking at from what you're saying, there seems to be some form of conspiracy going on. I may not be right, but it looks as if there's a conspiracy being spearheaded by foreign shipping lines to ensure that indigenous shippers and shipping lines don't come up.
It's in fact, don't you hear what Pastor said about the refinery? But he wanted to make the refinery work. But is it not? You are supposed to employ the foreigners to come and help to do it, and the people they are collaborating with foreign experts to ensure, because those foreign experts they hold it. 3% of people are controlling the maritime system in Nigeria. So those 3% they don't want it to extend to 4%.
So there's let me use
kind of a club, an exclusive club.
No, let me use Dangote's
refinery.
No, what he said about having a mafia.
Yes.
So there's a mafia that is holding everybody down.
Yes.
And this mafia, so to say, who would be in the right position to dismantle them?
It's only government. Government will only come out with big sledgehammer and dismantle them by, if you want to release this money, let there be cooperation. Maybe 2-3 people come together. Okay, let them write their proposal. How can you manage it? Give us your 5 years or 10 years profile. How do you return the money? It's not question of give you, then you go. They give them this money on they are supposed to be maritime bank in Nigeria that will be ensuring maritime people are working and they will follow them. to do the work. Not just bank that have been existing that they don't know nothing about marine. They just go because they hear there's money. They will just rush to you. They call it bad loan at the end of the day. Why is it bad? Because you are not following the people that take loan from you. If you are following them up, then they will know before they will fail. You are seeing what their income and outcome and expectations. Then that is the problem. So this government can come in boldly. This thing they are saying, we will still continue talking about this FFF for the next 3, 4, 5 years if they did not come out. Because who will bring out money? Tell me somebody cheap man. The one that you are hearing very loud and clear is not the actual owner that owns it. The one that are owned by Nigeria and in the tanker line and the offshore, we are the one that owns all the security boats. And now we are fighting to cancel insecurity on the sea. That means they will not have jobs if there is no. So they don't, all those sophisticated vessels, DP1, DP2, DP3, Nigeria doesn't have money to buy it.
So who now, from what you're saying, who then is securing our waterways?
Our waterways, porous. All these things we are seeing, the syndicate, there are people who are taking the lead. The captain is this is why maritime is paramilitary.
Okay.
When you do it in America, America will not allow you to come and work in that water. You must have been, even you have been a country for 10 years, they will not say, hey, you cannot be a captain. You can only be on that rank. You cannot be a captain. Because captain is very important. They see everything. More of this, if they want to invade Nigeria, go for liberty. Those captains can lead warfare to Nigeria. Because they know all our river. They know it.
So in other words, we're that porous and that we are allowing foreigners to be in the forefront.
That is it. That is it.
Now, in all of this, what role is Nimasa playing in securing our waterways?
The Nimasa are playing role by collaborating with the Navy, to make sure that, like this sophisticated surveillance, they have it. They can see you, but they cannot see who is under the ship now. I was crossing from Lome to Port Harcourt, so I have to take deep course. So I was about 70 nautical miles from shore. So I have a little breakdown. I was drifting. So before I know it, I had a call on my VHF radio. They called my ship name. Explain what you are doing in that location. That's from Warri Base. That Warri Base should be about 100 nautical miles from where I was. That was about 300 kilometers. And that radio, normally the normal one we are usually cover like about 5 nautical miles. But that they are home. And they are seeing that they were seeing me with the aid of the AIS. They were seeing me like they saw my name, they called me. I told them it was slight something we're checking. They will soon continue our journey. It's okay. And they still call on that vessel where they have Navy on board that they should monitor what that vessel is doing. So that with that one, and all this one are with the assistance of the Nimasa. The Nimasa tried, they are trying at their own level, but we need government involvement. This government, truth be told, let truth be told, the government of His Excellency Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I have never seen government since almost 3 decades of maritime. I have never seen government after head of state the other time that have shown so much interest in maritime. They have shown interest because we can see a lot of things they are developing. The Blue Economy Ministry, this one, they have a deep sea port in Lekki deep sea port. Another one is coming up now for Badagry is on the way. So they are doing, they want to, but it is what you don't have. Can you give it? You cannot give what you don't have. So if what they need is this type of sensitization, let us continue talking and advising them. When we want, put the right person, the next DG of the matter must be somebody that has served on ship. This man is trying. I wonder how the man acquired so much knowledge within this short time. But we want somebody that have sailed ship
okay.
to be there.
Captain, let me ask you this question, and I think it's a question a lot of viewers are interested in. When they were coming up with this policy, this Cabotage Law Act, how involved were indigenous ship owners? How involved were people like you in bringing out this act that we're looking at? Because the problem seems to be the act and the implementation of the act.
You want to know the act?
Okay.
It's the implementation of the act. The act was done. So seafarers, I forgot the name of this man, one engineer was masterminded the writing of that act. And it was the best thing that ever happened in the history of maritime Nigeria. If you read it, everything has been specified there. But the mistake they did, that clause, waiver clause that was put there, is what they were using. They did not specify very well. Even when it is any vessel that cannot be managed by Nigeria due to sophistication, then you can bring expert. Now, they are grouped, every vessel are sophisticated now. And we have worked on those sophisticated vessels. Because I work in one company, we have 5 vessels. I was the only Nigerian among them. And I worked successfully, even though they were giving them $10,000, I was earning 2 million, 2.something million then. So now look at the back to back person I'm relieving. He's not doing anything different from what I'm doing. You look at the gap. So we are not worried about it. You understand? So the people, the country, the Cabotage Act was well written. It's only to implement that we have problem with, and people are just closing their eyes against it. He has specified everything in that book. We only by now supposed to have been reviewed upward, but we have not even think of implementing the original one. Not talk of reviewing it. So we should be talking of review. Let us review it now to meet up the international best practice, so that the next election we will not campaign. We are not campaigning for election now, and I pray. I know our daddy, Honorable His Excellency Bolega Etola. I am sure he will come back with that thing, because I know his man is ready. It's different between somebody they are pushing and somebody that is willing. That man is willing. DG Nimasa is willing. But even though they don't have capacity too much, but the little they have, or they're able to grab within this period, they were able using it more than professionals. And I wish him success. But when they now come to success, when they give us that category C, we are now want to be category B. We will now outline what and what we need to do to make sure we maintain category C continuously and enter category B.
All right. The phone lines are now open: 0700 903 903 903, 08036 929933, 081 717 56338. That's our WhatsApp line. You know, the lines are open. You know, you can join in the conversation. We still have with us Captain Ogunsaki Rotimi William. You know, he's a seasoned shipper, and is a very good one. Nigeria has quite a number of very outstanding men and women when it comes to whatever we need to run and develop this economy. You know, so you've been listening to him. He's been explaining to us the problem that has to do with the shipping industry, especially with owning ships in Nigeria. It is capital intensive, and but then, so let me ask you this. In all of this, what do you think that indigenous ship owners should do to be able to get Nigeria out of this present predicament?
Yes, Nigeria, when Nigeria has put something as a policy, it's difficult to change. What we are saying, we are just saying our own, that they should give her that money. They will not give her that money. They will say, bring out collateral. Let them come. But the problem is, they are putting the federal rule among the indigenous ship owners. They are putting the federal rule because if they united, maybe 5 people come together. Let us look for this money. If you have land, go and sell it. You have something, go and gather this money. At least 5 people come together. They buy one ship. they will now run it. That's what all these big ship we are hearing. There's not one person company. Yeah. They have over 200 ship. Everybody are putting water there. If you can see qualified people, we have been in the sea, we don't have money. But those who have been do some business, and if you like, can add us to join as you run around board, we'll be running around for them. But if they come together, raise that money, that's the first way of getting it. Because if you go and buy all this before, you can buy Oyibo used to the main ship, class, nothing, we bring to Nigeria, we need to work. But now we are trying to upgrade. Nigeria is upgrading, and the Nimasa enforcement officers in the port state, the flag state, man, they are tough. I used to be with them when I was aboard. If your vessel had efficiency, you swear.
Okay, hold on, sir. We just have our first caller. Good afternoon. Hello. Are you there? Good afternoon, sir. Hello. All right, can continue, sir.
All right, Captain. In the alternative.
Hello. 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 All right, continue, sir.
In the alternative, sir, because we must move on ahead. We must progress. Must have some progress. Would you again advocate for government to have ship like we used to have the NNSL, the Nigerian National Shipping Line?
That is only way out of.
You think so?
I'm telling you, if government continue to say go and bring collateral, we cannot get it. At the end of the day, foreigner will be the one to come and bring the collateral under the guise of a Nigerian, and then we are still trading the vessel out.
But we've walked through that channel before and it never worked because it was mismanaged.
When I was in school in Ghana, when I was doing my ISL course, one of the teachers that taught us said, if ISM code has been implemented, has been in existence during Black Star Line, NNSA will not collapse. Those vessels, those countries, you are hearing them that are having ship that are working. Their ISM code, safety management system, quality assurance system are operating perfect. The quality assurance is not just on the ship again. It will be in the office. They start from the office. They will audit the ship. Internal auditing, external auditing. If we are following the bumper to bumper, site inspection, if we follow it, those ones that are having ship now, I know they cannot fail. All those ones, I don't want to mention somebody's name, those ones that they are God that helping them, they are helping our Nigerian people, they are Nigerian that own ship, whether they own in partnership or other partnership, but they were helping us, they were employing us, they employ our people. One of them employed me.
Okay, sir.
And I work. So if those ones now, even though for them to raise this money their government is asking, it's not easy for them.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise, they will have been in the forefront. There are some that have 4 ships operating in the water. Big one. Okay. They will have raised that money.
Okay.
We'll need to give us a parting shot, sir. Because
before that, I have a question.
Out of time.
If you're saying we should get government back into business, and people are saying they don't want government in business. We look at what's happening with our, what is happening with our oil sector, the refineries. We hear that the refineries have become moribund and they're going to be sold as scrap. So if that is the situation, why don't they just implement this CVFF and allow people to invest rather than government trying to own the ships?
You see, that ship is capital intensive. If they try the PPP something and they put then that collateral government will put it down. Then they will now say, okay, we are buying, our drivers are buying cars, motor, hire purchase. You cannot say you are not paying. Because they will collect the motor from you and give it to people that are serious. If the government themselves are serious, I'll give you this opportunity, those of you come and run it. They do annual and biannual inspection. in the real form, they do it. If you are not remitting what you're supposed to remit, and maybe the money is not going where it's supposed to go, immediately they stop you. Then from there we'll be serious. Because if we say the people that I'm still saying it, this money is not available.
Okay. All right, sir. So your parting shot, your advice to both the government and the people, and
the advice I have for both the government and the people is that Nigeria government have a lot to do. Nigeria has potential to become the maritime superpower in Africa. If we get it right, the ocean will fuel our future economy, but we must act with courage, clarity, and commitment. So they should buy the one for the training of the student first. Government should buy that one. That one should not be anybody. Because the student they train through NSDP, what do you call it? NSDP. The student they train now, they are on the road walking about. And if we say we are clear the sea of pirate, the root cause of pirate, it is the trained people that are not having job.
okay.
So we should give them job, give them where to serve. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir.
All right.
It's been the Maritime and Border Show with Dele Utomi and Francis Chilaka.
All right, thank you, listeners. I can see calls that's now beginning to come in, but we can't pick your calls now. It's been a very, very interesting afternoon with our guest, Captain Ogosaki Rotimi. He's given us quite a number of insight into what's happening with the Nigerian shipping industry. We're hoping that we can have a second time for this. We would like to invite you, once more, so that there are quite a number of questions that people have sent on WhatsApp, which we have not been able to look at, but would like to invite you again. We appreciate you. We thank you for coming, sir.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so very much for coming.
All right, listeners, this is still your darling station, 90.3 FM VOP. We're about signing out. My name is Prince Chilaka and
Dele Utomi. See you next week for another edition of the Maritime and Border Show.
Have a lovely afternoon.